Hey guys, what's up? It's Blue Thunder here, back with another tutorial video. Now, a couple of months ago, well actually a longer time, but a couple of months ago, I was wondering on how to make the vocal chops that you hear in the latest Martin Garrix and basically all DJ Snake's tracks. So, today I am going to teach you how to make these vocal chops. So what I did, I loaded up a full acapella, a dry acapella on the track Siren by Vicetone. And I want to use this, well, note, this vocal chop. Okay, so you hear that, okay. How are we going to chop up this vocal? Well, the first thing you want to do in FL Studio is load up an Edison. And what is Edison? Edison is really a recording program for MIDI keyboards and such, but you can use it for a lot more. And what we want to do, we want to click on the vocal right here in the step sequencer, and we want to drag this vocal in Edison. Okay, so you already see that this is just a full vocal. If you're going to play it right now, it will play the full vocal, but we don't want that. We only want that sound that I just showed you, and I already found it right here, but you probably have to look a little bit. Now, you don't have to do this with this vocal specifically, by the way, but you can use any vocal you'd like. So I selected this part. I think this is the part I wanted to use. A little bit less. Yes, this is perfect. This is the part I want to use because this is one note. Guys, I always say use one note because otherwise you have to switch notes around later on. It's always easier to use one, I believe it's called one phrase, and then work from that. But if you have an idea in mind with a couple of phrases in one note, then you can use that perfectly, but it's your choice. But I'm going to show you how to make these vocal chops today, how I do it. Okay, so what we are going to do is we're going to drag or copy this sample back into Edison. So we are going to, instead of dragging it somewhere right here, we're going to just drag it right here in this bar, and it will load up in Edison. And if you play it right now, you will see that the vocal phrase is the only thing playing. You hear it? It's the only thing playing. And I figured this is a C note because I already loaded it up here. But I'm going to load up again. Okay, so you can see that it is a C6. A C, it's one octave higher than normal 6. Normal C. Excuse me. A normal C. It's really hot out here. Normal C. But I'm going to explain to you something real quick. You may have another a cappella and your note may be somewhere right here. Okay. So what will happen if I play a C right now? It will play a D. The note will be in D. Okay, so you say, okay, so I play a D, it will be a D. No, if you play a D, it will be an E. And if I play an E, it would be an F sharp. F sharp, right? Yeah, no. Okay, F sharp, whatever. It will be an F sharp, right? So, what you have to do, if you have a D, for example, like if this note is on D, then what you have to do is you have to drag it back to C. And you could work, you could work like this. Like if the note is a D, you could keep it like that. But it will be a lot harder to really make nice sounds in it, I believe. And it's just easier to drag it back to C. Because that means it plays a C when you play a C, and it's a D when you play it a D, and it's an E when you play an E, instead of you playing a C and playing a D, and playing a D, it's actually an E, you know. So this may be a little difficult to understand, but I hope you do. And just drag it back to C, because that means that it will be a lot easier for you guys to have it, to use it later for the vocal chops. So what we are going to do right now, if you drag it back to C, you want to load it up in a VST or actually just in the step sequencer. So we're going to drag it back into the step sequencer. And what we have right here is the sound, okay? This is the sound that we are going to use and edit. So this is the sound. And it's the exact same sound as we used before, but there's a big difference right now. Listen. And you may think, what's the difference? And it's actually this. The note will keep playing until it's over. So it will play this full note. So how are we going to fix this? Because we don't want to play this fully. We don't wanna have this fully enabled in the drop, like that it will play this full. You just want to have like a note, and you play the note, and it will go until here or until here, and then another note, it will go until here. You know what I mean? So how are we going to do this? Well, you want to do this by clicking the sample, dragging it back into Edison again, and you already have these markers right here. Okay? It doesn't really matter, but right click on the Edison wave file, the sample you used, and go to Tools. Okay? Go to Tools, and what you then want to do is you want to, let me see where it is. You want to tune loop. Click on tune loop and click on accept. Okay? Now, what you want to do, you want to drag it back into this sample. Okay? And you already see that something is starting to happen here. So what did we just do? Well, we actually made regions. So we made it so that if you play a note right now, it will stop when the note ends. Okay? You hear that? You hear that? And that's exactly what we want to do. That's exactly what we want to do. So if you pay close attention, you saw that these two things, they were grayed out. So if we actually turn off loop points right now, you hear that? It's back again. So these loop points are the thing that makes it so that the note stops when you stop playing it. You hear that? And that's what you want to have. So let's just quickly do something like make a little bit of a, I don't know, whatever, like a quick note and get it a little bit of reverb. Now this is more than what I wanted to show in this tutorial really, because you already have the vocal chops and then you can put effects on it. But to make it more lively, you can put a reverb on it, a delay and such. Oh. You hear that? So with the reverb on, it's a lot better. But it sounds a little silent, so what we are going to do, we're just going to turn up the volume. So I already can hear some kind of melody in there. I don't really want to use this because I already have tens of thousands of project files. Maybe I'll use it later though, you know, you never know, okay? So, this was the tutorial for the vocal chops. I hope you learned something today. I hope I taught you something new about this new tone thing. So remember that if you have a D note, it will play a D. If you have a C note, it will still play a C. But if you have a C, if you have a D note and you play a C, it will play a D. Alright? So it's kind of hard to understand, I know. But I do hope you understand it. Use a little bit of imagination. And I hope you learned something today, because you can basically use these vocal chops in anything, in a drop or whatever. Be like DJ Snake and turn a little bit down. You know, you can basically do anything with these vocal chops. Use it in a drop and it will still sound human, okay? Cut out the root notes. No, seriously. Okay, so I hope you learned something today. And if you want more of these tutorial videos, please comment and please like and please subscribe down below. And if you do, I will see you in the next tutorial video, alright? Blue Thunder out.